All right, everybody, it is Coglin Arrow back for a bonus episode today. We have, as you can see on the screen, the 2.9.5 patch coming up today, and that is going to be a late rollout. The servers would be down now for that patch, but they have pushed that out until tonight. So we've got three new characters. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. We've got Robbie Reyes, Hellcat, and Kid Kaiju. Kid Kaiju I am most excited about, but we'll get to him in a minute. Now Ghost Rider and Hellcat are going to be soft paywall. You can not farm them through regular means, but you'll be able to get them in the dimension chests that you unlock every day. Kid Kaiju is going to be full on paywall, so you've got to get that 20 bios subscription in order to get him. With those, it's recommended that you get your 20 bio subscription, and then that you go ahead and use a rank up ticket, a six star max rank up ticket with a max mastery ticket as well. But you kind of do that at your leisure. But let's take a look. So we've got Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, popping in. He, of course, is going to have a lot to do with fire, so get a fire obelisk ready for him. His leadership gives increase to dodge rating by 10%, which is fine. I mean, that's going to max out much higher, but dodge is fine. It's always nice to have a little more. Next, his passive is going to be 80% chance to be immune to fire damage. This one's a little weird. I expected him to have full immunity to fire damage, but instead every fire hit will have an 80% chance to do nothing from what it appears. So we'll see how that works once he's in the game. When you tier 2 him, he's going to get a pretty standard tier 2, a buff to skill damage and bonus damage, and then some extra guaranteed critical rate and guaranteed dodge rate, which is, I mean, it's a fairly standard tier 2, nothing to go home about. Now, as you can see, all of his abilities do fire damage, so you're not going to be able to take out Ghost Rider in Shadowlands with him, but you're going to be able to pair him up with all of the other fire folk that we have out there now, and kind of takes some people down. His ability here, Demon Bind, does give a buff to all speeds. That's not super exciting, but it is there. And then his Tire Scorcher has a bind for 3 seconds, and then also guard hit for 2 hits for 5 seconds. So that is going to be an ability you're going to want to use on cooldown. It has a 13-second cooldown, so you can get that down to about 7 seconds, which means that you'll be able to keep them binded for they'd only be unbound for 4 seconds. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm expecting to see his car come screeching in on that one, but we will see when they get it. So I am overall not terribly excited about him. I'll get him because I do feel that he is going to be pretty good, but nothing about him really gets me excited. Hellcat. Now, this one is one that a lot of people may be less familiar with. I'm not super familiar with her from what I understand. She is a friend of Jessica Jones, and she's kind of a street level hero, kind of similar to Catwoman on the DC side. So she's going to increase speeds with her leadership. Not a leadership that I really like to see, but it's there. And then her passive is a 5%, or when you get to tier 2, it's 20% chance when attacking to give a 30% bleed damage every 1 second with a 20-second cooldown or 10-second cooldown for tier 2. So that's obviously going to increase as you level her up, to tier 2. So it's fine. Bleed damage has never been a very exciting thing. Black Panther, for the longest time, that's what he was all about, was bleed damage, and nobody really cared for it. So I don't expect that to be a selling point on her. Her tier 2 gives a critical damage buff and a dodge rate buff, and then also increases the effect of her tier 1 passive ability, as we went over a minute ago. And so all in all, pretty standard. Nothing too exciting there either. All of her attacks are physical attack and physical damage, so you're going to want to focus on physical for her. She does have the ability to increase her own crit rating, so you'll probably want to stack crit. And then she has a stun down here for 3 seconds, which it looks like it says enemies, so it may be able to stun multiple enemies. So keep an eye on that ability. It has a 14-second cooldown. So you're going to, again, max out at 7 seconds, so they'll have 4 seconds of not being stunned. These two characters have a lot of similarities in their design. So, obviously I'm going to be more likely to pursue Robbie Reyes first, just because he has... you can increase his damage with fire obelisks, and all of his abilities are just a little more appealing to me. Next, we have our third one, Kid Kaiju. This is the one I'm super excited about. He's fairly new in Marvel. He was introduced shortly before the most recent run called Monsters Unleashed. He has the ability to draw on a piece of paper and summon a monster. So, he summoned Fing Fang Foom at one point. He summoned the Hulk at another point. And so anything that he can draw, supposedly, he can summon. And so we're going to see a little bit of that in his abilities. So now, the first thing you're going to notice is that he has separate leadership for Tier 2. His leadership, now it's a similar leadership, but it gets buffed at Tier 2. So that is different, and that is exciting. And he has great buffs. All allies get a bonus to attack, defense, and all speeds. So that is essentially a team-up bonus all in there as his leadership. He will be leading the way the majority of the time he's out. So that is exciting. Next, he has an illusion, which if you go to the webpage is up here. I'll link it in the notes. But if you go, there's a video, and I'll play a quick snippet of it here, where you're going to be able to see, let me get to the gameplay here. As you can see, he has this little guy right here that he summons. So that's going to be what his summon looks like. And it's going to have 80%, that'll increase with level, and then when you tier 2 him, that's going to go up to a 135% of the summoner stats. Now, the thing that we're concerned about is if you want to use him in a speed relay, you're going to worry about what type his summon is, as with Moon Girl, her Devil Dinosaur summon is combat type, she's speed, and so in speed relays, her damage is cut down almost by 2/3. And so hopefully his illusion will have his same type, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it. If it doesn't, then he's probably not going to be super useful in speed relays. Now, one quick note before we continue. Speed is missing an uber powerful character, like Doctor Strange is an uber powerful character, as well as Enchantress for blast, and then you have Carnage for combat. Speed doesn't really have that. Kind of Elsa, but not really. And so we're all hoping that this is going to be the one. This is, it's paywall, and it's got to be that super powerful speed character, so keep an eye on him. Next, his tier 2. He has the pretty standard skill damage, bonus damage increase, but then he buffs his leadership substantially, and he buffs that illusion quite a bit as well. So that is an excellent tier 2. He will be a target of my next tier 2 ticket at the end of the month, and I will be happy to do that as long as he is as good as he seems. Even if he's not super great, having that plus 20 to attack, plus 20% to defense, and plus 10 to all speeds is worth tier 2ing him, just to have him for his leadership bonus. So, he has the Fire Claw summon, which we saw up, let me scroll back up here. This appears to be the Fire Claw summon, where he summons a dragon. That's going to have him just do some fire damage. Then he has a Slizik summon, which I am not familiar with what a Slizik is, but he's going to summon one, and it's going to burn the enemies, and then also do some physical damage. He is a physical attack, so you're going to want to get ready for bumping up his physical. He does not have much fire. He just has that fire, and then that burn may be affected by fire, so I wouldn't count on having him on a fire team or with a fire obelisk. Then he has Sketch Up, which gives all allies plus 5% of all attacks and a bonus to dodge rate as well. Now, this is going to have me wanting him in every battle world that I can have him in, and I may even run him in a relay, even though I don't enjoy the relays. Having all three out there and then all of them getting these buffs to attack, plus he's buffing his summon, this is going to be incredible, and that's something to keep an eye on. Tag Team Titans, I'm assuming he summons two big beasts who deal some damage. And then Monster Mayhem, I really want to see the visual on this. I think it's going to be exciting, but it is just another damage dealer, and a pretty low damage at that. So hopefully that may have massive AoE or something of that sort. As I mentioned, Kid Kaiju is only available through the premium 20 bios a day. Grab it. You should have it. It is very low price for what you get. I don't mind spending the $15 a month to get the 20 bio a day plus the 75 crystals a day. It gets you that VIP level, which gets great bonuses. VIP bonuses are excellent for the most part, and it's going to really give you an advantage in the game. You don't have to, it's not required, but it is definitely a good thing. And then Ghost Rider and Hellcat are only available through those dimension chests, which we will have to see if they're available through Shadowland bio selectors, but most likely they will be. Most dimension chest characters are available through those, so, but we'll see. And then all those numbers that you saw were based on skill level 1, so all those are going to increase. Next, we have 5 uniforms, and it is the Netflix uniform patch. Everybody's been waiting on these uniforms. 2 of them in particular, we'll get to those in a moment. We have Iron Fists. Now, Iron Fist has the same uniform bonus that all of his other uniforms have, unless it alters his abilities in some fabulous way. This one is probably skippable if you have the others, but it may be you may be able to get that one if you don't have any of the others, but we'll see what it changes on him. For the first one that's been both of these are highly anticipated. Luke Cage's hoodie outfit and Elektra's Netflix uni. Both of these have been clamored for since they were seen on the shows, and you finally get them. Luke Cage's one I may just buy just because I really loved the show and really love that outfit, but Luke Cage is not a particularly powerful character. I don't even have him max ranked, but his ability here is the same as the increased skill duration of Heroes for Hire, reduced cooldown time, is the same as what's on his unis now. But it also adds the guard break effect on the skill street style, which guard break is good, but unless that really changes his abilities in some way, it's not going to make him game breaking, and it won't be necessary. Elektra's has activated rate when the skill throwing size is used. She doesn't currently have a uniform, so this is going to be a excellent pickup. As she was rebuilt recently and is very, very good. So when you use that throwing size skill, you're going to get critical damage increase and all speeds increase. Both great things to have. Critical damage more so than the speeds, but still great to have. And with a 2-second cooldown, that's going to happen every time you use that ability. So this is probably one that I'm going to go ahead and pick up when they're on sale in the morning. The Punisher Netflix uni that has honestly a much worse ability in my opinion than the other uniforms that he has. 5% chance when attacking to decrease skill cooldown by 30%. Not only is it a low chance, but what it's decreasing is not really something that you're too excited about. We'll wait and see other people that buy it if it changes up his abilities in some meaningful way. He's not a powerful character. He's not a particularly useful character. But if you're a bigger Punisher fan, I'm a Punisher fan, but I'm honestly more of a fan of his Civil War run, which he has a uni for that. That is the cap uni he wore when he took down the, I believe it was the Hate Monger. And I prefer how that one looks if I were to buy a uni for him. But if you really like that look, that's a uni that you can pick up. Then Karnak, another highly anticipated one. His hoodie one from the ANAD style. Everybody likes it. Karnak has been overall a disappointment. His uni looks like a disappointment as well. 35% rate when debuffed to remove all debuffs. It's too low of a rate for him to be considered a Doctor Strange killer, as removing all debuffs is primarily aimed at taking out Doctor Strange or Enchantress. But we'll see. And we'll see if it rebuilds him into somebody great. But I am not holding my breath on that one. It seems like they kind of phoned it in on these ones and are relying on you loving how the character looks in order to get you to buy it. But all those are going to be available at a discounted price for a short period. It'll be $750, and then it'll go back up to $1,400 once that time frame is over. Next, we have a new feature, character growth information and combat power points. So as you can see down here, there's going to be a combat power, and it's going to tell you not only how many combat power points you have, which is the relative strength of your character, based on other characters. You're also going to see what percentage of the characters you are in. So you're going to be able to see if your Doctor Strange is in the top 10, top 50, top whatever percent. Now, if you click on this little icon right here that'll be next to it, you're going to be able to get a deeper look at their skills, gears, ISO 8s, custom gears, Urus, comic cards, and uniforms. How that's going to look right here. You're going to have progress, and you're going to want to try to get all of these up to maximum. And when you go in here, if you see, okay, my equipped ISO rank is pretty low, you can click start. It'll bring you to your ISOs. Gear upgrade, click it. It'll bring you to your gear. Skill upgrade, click it. It'll bring you to your skill screen. So that is utility that it's good. I mean, it's not something I've been clamoring for, but I know some people have wanted something similar to this, and now you've got it. Next is character ranking. Right now, if you go into the submenu, you're going to see that character ranking, but it's going to look a little different after the update. You're going to be able to see each of your characters ranked based on their combat power score. So you'll be able to see how much more powerful the next person is, and so on and so forth. It does say that your character's rank will determine based off the combat power points, and you can compete against other agents, so you can try to see if you have the best one in your alliance, or so on and so forth. Now, the big one, uniform upgrade changes. So, everybody hated the uniform upgrade system because it just tried to get money out of your pocket. And the bonuses were not worth all the money you'd have to spend to get them. Well, now it's a little easier. So, the mandatory uniforms will no longer be required to upgrade a uniform, and instead they've been changed. Here you can see from required uniform to an option uniform. So the option uniform will still give you a bonus if you have it. That way they're not screwing over the people who already went out and bought a bunch of uniforms. Because of the uniform upgrade system, they're still going to get an additional bonus. And if you go in and buy some uniforms you don't need, you'll still get that additional bonus. But now, and now also when you go into the store to buy a uniform, it'll tell you if buying that uniform will currently upgrade your one of your uniforms you have now. See, right now they have Spider-Man ANAD, where buying War Machine will give it that HP boost. If Spider-Man's was too low level, it would not show up at all. And it'll show multiple if you have multiple. So that is definitely a good change. It's not perfect, but the world isn't perfect, and we've got to kind of take what we can get. I think that this is the best choice Netmarble could have made to please as many people as possible, because it's not going to get the people who went out and bought a bunch of uniforms upset, but it's also going to help alleviate some of the pain that came with the uniform upgrades. So that is exciting. And timeline battle changes. This is another thing a lot of people have complained about, that all timeline is throwing out your best 3 characters and hoping they beat somebody else's best 3 characters. And it's been pretty dry and boring for most of us. But now you're going to have recommended characters where you'll get an extra bonus points, not bonus honor tokens, but bonus points if you have them in your team. And then also there will be restricted characters that are ones that you cannot use. The recommended characters are going to be different for everybody. The restricted characters are going to be the same for everyone. So they may restrict Thanos and Doctor Strange 1 week to lower the overall power level, and they may give you a bonus for using maybe Luke Cage and Black Panther and Jessica Jones, and they say, okay, if you use those 3, then you're going to get bonus points. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. It'll definitely make timeline more interesting. I will pay more attention to it, and we'll see. So we went over all of that. Oh yes, also the recommended characters and the restricted characters are going to reset every Friday, so that it's going to be a weekly deal. Friendly match. So now another thing a lot of people have been clamoring for is the ability to just have a friendly fight with one of your alliance mates. From what I understand, this is not going to be real time. Thank goodness. Real time would be very difficult to set up, but you can just go in and find one of your alliance mates and just challenge their current team to a fight and get yourself some bragging rights. And you can... you don't get any points or any rewards or anything, but it's just a way to have some fun. So hopefully some of you guys will enjoy that. I don't know how much I'll use it, but it's neat. A lot of people wanted it, and we've got it. The opponent's team will be based on the team they most recently used in Timeline Battle. And if they have yet to do a Timeline Battle, you will not be able to play them. And then, obviously, the results of those will not affect your Timeline points. A few other changes. Highest League rank tab will be changed to link per rank tab. So this is going to not only change the name, but it's also going to allow you to see the highest ranks of every league. So it's not just going to be those top 4 or 5 alliances. You'll be able to go to each league and see who is winning in that league. So if you go into, or not alliances, but players, if you're in platinum and you want to see who is in the league in bronze, you can change and check. And then the character portraits will be replaced by the icon of their league. So that's a minor change, more visual and more informational, but it's there. And then also they're going to include this right here, where it shows you your reward that you received on the timeline battle screen instead of having it on a separate screen. So that'll speed up the timeline process, and it just makes everything look a lot cleaner. World boss changes. Oh, also the bonus rewards granted for playing timeline battles have been redesigned, so you'll see a little bit of a change there. And then gold reward will be added as a possible reward for each league, which is awesome. More gold is better. World boss changes. So these ones are ones that are going to affect me and that I'm excited about. When you go into the world boss now, all you see is descending or ascending, but you're not able to sort them. Now you'll be able to sort them by type, and then it'll also have mastery being shown on the list as well. So you can sort them by both. Now, this is good when you're just searching for that one particular character, and you need to limit it out. But the biggest one is down here. You'll be able to have right now you can have these 4 options, but now you'll have recent. So that standard team of strikers that a lot of us have, you'll be able to just hit recent and have those pop up, throw them in there. It'll be a lot quicker and a lot easier. I would have preferred if the strikers would have carried over every fight, but they feel that this is better, and so that's what we're getting. Alliance tournament changes. Now you're going to be told when you can set the team. So wherever they are in their alliance tournament. So if you, this is going to help you know when you can go in and vote for a team and when things switch over within there. And you'll also be able to see which alliance you've cheered. So Most of us peons aren't going to be as concerned about that because you just go in, you cheer for your team, and then you wait to see whatever gold comes in. But for those that are interested, that is a change. As you can see, it tells you right there what you cheered and what percentage they are have cheered. Other changes. Tier 2 characters will be placed on the top of the list of Battle World entries. So before, they just had the Battle World entries in whatever order they come in. I think it may be alphabetical, I'm not sure. But now all your Tier 2s are going to be at the top, so you don't have to scroll through the list. That's nice. A new button has been added to co-op play, which will automatically collect the rewards. And so if you are like me and you set co-op play on auto and walk away, now you can have it play through all of your progress rewards. You'll still, if you are like me and you have it play so that you can collect the reward as soon as your day comes up, you'll still have to choose for it to do those couple of battles, but for the main set of rewards, you're going to be able to do it automatically, so that's exciting. The button will still require clear tickets to obtain the rewards, which is, I understand there's contention on that, but this obviously was not going to remove that. Clear ticket times 10 window animations are now faster, which, I mean, that's a minor change, but you may have bothered you how slow they were. Didn't bother me, but that's a change. Tier 2 characters will be shown on the top of your in-game friends list of characters. So when you go into your friends list right now, it just shows them in whatever random order it has them set up. I'm sure it's not random, but now you'll be able to see all their Tier 2s up at the top, which just makes it a lot more convenient, a lot easier to parse what your friends have. You'll now be able to check the remaining time of daily and weekly missions. So right now when you go into the missions tab, you're not able to, all it says is either it's a daily or a weekly. But now you're going to be able to see how much more time you have to complete that daily or that weekly mission, which is convenient to have that information. Event list in-game will now show you how much time is left until the event starts, which... that's great. Now you can kind of know when to expect for that to occur. So that's good. In the Alliance menu, you can now see how much a member has contributed historically. It no longer reset daily. So this is mostly for Alliance leaders to be able to look over and say, okay, this person or that person is not contributing. So good for you guys to have that information. The orange dot will no longer show for items that are not purchasable in the Alliance store, which that was more of a visual annoyance, but it's still nice to have it gone. Fixed an issue with the Doctor Strange uniform upgrade that says insufficient materials in certain situations. I have not really heard of a lot of people that have had that issue, but fixing bugs is great. Now, the one that's got me concerned, following character models have been changed. The Luke, Anad, the Punisher, and Punisher War Journal, which the War Journal is the costume I like, but still have not bought. The Iron Fist New Avengers, Iron Fist Anad, Elektra, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Iron Man, Sif Modern, Ultron Prime, and Ultron Mark 1. So, you'll notice that Luke Cage, Punisher, Iron Fist, Elektra, those are all ones that have, uniforms coming up, so I imagine it is to more closely align the uniform body with the regular. The one I'm worried about is Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. I'm a huge fan of this uniform. I always liked her look in those, when they rebooted the Avengers, and she was a part of it. I liked that Miss Marvel look, which is the one they've gone with. She's worn a couple of other different Miss Marvel costumes outside of her Captain Marvel, but that's the costume they went with, and I really like that look. So I hope that they don't mess anything up on the character model. Don't make it look weird or anything. But we're gonna see. Maybe these are all great visual differences. That's what I expect, and that's what I hope for. But we'll see. Next, the orange dot icon has been removed if you have completed all achievements, which that's nice. Visual annoyance gone. Fixed an issue with the character details menu not loading uniform stats and gear tab. This is not just a visual annoyance. This is a major issue when you're trying to figure out where your character is, especially on cap abilities. For example, skill cooldown has a cap of 50%. You need to know whether you've reached that before you change a gear ability or alter out uniform, whatever you're looking at. So this is good that they are fixing that. And then the one that everybody is cheering, the introduction movie, has been removed. So that is the slow Thanos versus Doctor Strange. It looked great the first time, and ever since then has slowed the ability to open the game. And now it's gone. So, hooray. We'll see what they have. Hopefully they don't have anything more annoying coming up. But that is the patch notes. So I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough. To give you a heads up, the maintenance for that is 8 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 11 p.m. and all the way through 11 p.m. Pacific time, or 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So unfortunately, that is one of my primary playing times, and that is also hot time, so a little concerned there that this is going to be a new thing, but also make sure that you log in after that to get your 5-star rank up ticket, your 200 dimension debris, and your 100 clear tickets. So thank you so much for listening to me ramble about these patch notes. I hope that you got the information you needed. I'll be including the link to the patch notes down below. And then also comment, let me know what characters you're wanting to grab, and then also who you're going to use that 5-star rank up ticket that you're getting on. And then as always, subscribe and like if you enjoyed the content, and I look forward to talking to you next time.